Give us a question. Can you state category?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
can you
2 cents. Hello to my blue friends. Get another spinning and they call it revolution. Loose lips. Better than a new tits. Glass make her think it's ruthless. Deuces. 2 cents.
Wow, I almost actually forgot to add myself in. I was about to start talking. You guys were like, well, where are you? So I'm glad I did that. What's going on, guys? How is everyone doing this afternoon or evening or morning or whatever time it is for you? Everyone's doing great. Nightbot is right, so the right link is available for Nightbot, just so everyone knows. I'll just go ahead and put the link right there. So yeah, 2052, man, Vlad, it's going to be before 2052. The Niners are going to come back. Things are going to get right. The world will be correct again because the 49ers will be back on top. At one point, we will see the second coming of Joe Montana. Yes, we thought it was going to be Jimmy G. That's turning out to be kind of a bust, but, you know, you live and learn, right? You live and learn. Just want to say hi to everyone. What's up, Gary? What's up, Aaron? Knights Media Club, Vlad, Aaron, Hornet, Cliff. What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing fantastic today. So yeah, just hanging out. Thought I'd do a little show. Got a few little topics I want to discuss today. Before we get started, give people a chance if they want to come on up. What's up, Kat? And come up and have a open discussion about some stuff. So for people to come on up. How's everyone's weekend going so far? What's up, Lab?
You know.
Cool.
What's up with you?
Not much. I was looking up coffee makers because I want a single cup coffee maker. I was gonna get a K cup. They want like $50 for a K cup. Oh hell no.
The Kruig?
Yeah.
They are good.
I know they are, but goddamn, $50. And then there's also other. They're up to like 50, between 50 and 100. I think the cheapest one I saw was like 40. I'm like, you know what? I'll just stick to regular coffee. Okay, I don't need all the extra bullshit. What's up, Gary?
Hi, Gary.
Hey, what's up? Hi, Lab. How you doing, sweetie?
Good.
Good.
Always remember, though, Kenny, you get what you pay for.
I know, but no, what I'm looking at, it's going to be like, the one I'm looking for is like $30. It's a Black & Decker. Black & Decker makes good stuff, so I know I'm going to be okay with it.
You're going to get a Black & Decker coffee maker.
Yeah, for $30.
I thought the Black & Decker Tiara.
Yeah, right.
I don't think they make tiaras.
Yeah. Well, Black & Decker is used to build houses. Not make coffee.
Well, they have a coffee maker. I'm telling you right now, they have a coffee maker. I'm looking at it right now. It's
I would never buy a Black & Decker coffee maker.
Why not?
Ever. Because they make tools.
Well, you know, General Foods makes General Auto makes General Foods. They make food too. They make cars. I mean,
but it's called General Foods, not General Auto.
But it's still the same company. It's the same company.
But it's a different name.
And this could be a different section of Black & Decker, kind of like General.
It's still
I'm just saying.
Black & Decker. They make.
Well, maybe they just, didn't decide to, we're not going to do all that. They didn't want to do all that. We're just Black & Decker. We're going to use our name. That's it. We're not going through all that bullshit. General Electric, General Motors, whatever, they had, about 100 years to come up with what they did. And what is all that racket?
I don't know.
What racket?
I don't know. It sounded like someone was like, I don't know.
Shuffling around doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pulling my blanket up.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Are you cold, Lab?
Yes.
Hey, did you?
Oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you very much.
Gary?
Yeah, a coffee maker. Yeah, I'm just like a Black & Decker, man. It's not bad. It's going to be really cool.
Who agreed
Looking
with
at
you?
No, Kat just sent me $20 towards the new coffee maker. Thank you,
Oh,
Kat.
Cat, that's so sweet. She's
Yeah,
so
see,
sweet.
it says about Sound says it's a personal coffee maker. The single serve coffee maker brewed directly into the included travel mug. So it comes with a travel mug. So $20, I get the coffee maker and a travel mug. Come on, that's a fucking deal.
Where are you going to travel?
Yeah, where are you going?
I go places.
You
I was
walk.
traveling. I got a travel mug to prove I'm
Permanent
just traveling
grounds.
off.
Are you going like full sob sit now? So you're traveling instead of driving?
It's called a goddamn travel mug. Jesus, it doesn't mean I'm going soft sit.
But officer, it's a travel mug.
Boy, I bet you could make some money on a sob sit site
You might be able to make some money on soft sit.
selling traveling mugs.
Yeah, General Motors used to make stoves back in the day. Yes, back in the day. See, boom.
But they were
there you
called
go. General Motors.
Electric.
It's the same goddamn company.
Well, I'm not. But if it was called General Motors, I would not buy a stove.
That's
from
like
General Motors.
that's like saying like this. That's like you're saying that Marvel Studios isn't Disney because they're all just because that's a different name. They're all under the same umbrella.
General Motors and General Electric is the same company?
And General Foods, right? I think so. I'm pretty sure it's all the same company.
I don't know.
General
Let's see.
Mills?
General
Mills?
Motors. General.
Okay, you're kind
Let's
of
see. Let's find out. I might be wrong. Hold on. Let's see.
You are.
You know what? Shh, I don't want to hear
Might
it.
I don't think you. Well, did you all get any snow down there when I had the storm down there?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Because Glenn, he had about 5 inches.
He's up north. He's way
And he's
north of me.
And he's an idiot. All right, maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong
Glenn
on this
Lambright?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about Glenn. I thought you were talking about Glenn Syria.
Syria has snow. He's in Washington.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Syria.
No, Lambright.
Oh,
Lambright,
he's in Louisiana too, right?
Yeah, but he's way north from here.
Way
north.
So I might be wrong, General. Yeah, I'm probably wrong on that one. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I could smell that one coming.
Yeah, smell like brewed coffee almost.
So more
Burnt
than just Mr. Coffee, I'm going with a Black & Decker, not just Mr. Coffee. I didn't want it's just me drinking. I didn't want to brew a whole cup, and then because I only drink usually one cup anyway, I didn't want to throw away a shitload of coffee. So I'm like, well, let me look at the K cups because I remember I had a K cup. When I was living in this apartment complex, the front office always had K cup. So I'd get up in the morning, go get a K cup, and I was like, that is some really good shit. They had like this real good cinnamon, kind of like hazelnut coffee. Oh, it was so fucking good.
Cinnamon hazelnut.
It was good, actually. It was really good. And so I'm like, I want one. And then I look up the price. I'm like, God damn, those are way too expensive for one little. And then not only that, the K cups aren't very cheap either.
Well, they're not expensive either.
You have a K cup maker?
Yes.
Oh, show off.
I have the big one though that you can make. Well, it makes single cups.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and put the thing up for anyone else who wants to show up. Before we get started, let's see. Why is Brett off here? All right, so what's new with you guys?
Well, I'm watching the Chiefs game while I'm listening to you.
Oh, you're watching the Chiefs game. Multitasking. Are they losing?
Oh, hell no. They're winning 16-3.
Damn. Goddamn Chiefs.
I looked around the schedule. I didn't see when 49ers are doing their playoff game.
Yeah, because they're not.
Oh, that's right. Damn. I kept thinking, I know, I don't think they made it this year. Damn the Lord.
I know. I know.
I was hoping
Yeah.
they would, so we could crush them again in the Super Bowl.
All right. So before we get started, I just want to watch. We're gonna watch an Auditing America video because I don't know. I see an Auditing America video and I just want to make fun of him. It's just make fun of him, right?
It's awesome, yeah.
He's just an idiot.
Katie, before we get into that, there is a guy by the name of Eddie Anthony Banks, I think is his name. This guy is a complete loon. He is. I'm not sure what his real how you would tag him, because he's like a soft shit, but he's not, because he tries to do everything legal, and all this paperwork is just goofified, just totally nutcase crap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I never heard of him.
I hadn't either, but I was just drifting around and came upon him.
Right.
Yeah,
Aaron, I don't know why we don't see Patrick around here anymore either. Kind of sad. I kind of wish Patrick would come on back. I think we scared him off the last time he was here.
Yeah.
He wasn't too happy about that, so he left. He hasn't been back. Nasty Nathaniel hasn't been here in a while either.
I have never seen Nasty Nathaniel on here.
He was on one of our streams. He actually came on. We were talking about Church of Scientology.
I must have missed that one.
I did too.
Haven't seen Eric Brandt hasn't been over here in a minute either. I don't know, a few people. Omaha.
Me,
surprisingly, Omaha's not here either. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know.
Around. He won't unblock me. I can't get through to him. Son of a bitch.
Oh, did he?
He got a lot going on, too.
Oh,
yeah, true. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check this out. Just a short little video. He's surprise, a post office. It looks like City Hall. Let's see.
It's a City Hall, not post office.
That's what I said. I know, but I think it was said.
What's going on, guys? We're in Umatilla, Florida. We're at the City Hall. See if they respect our First Amendment.
I like that bear.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just wander around somebody's office.
Thank you.
It's okay, Miss Crystal. Don't worry about it. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? No problem, take your time.
You just wanting to make a payment?
No, I'm trying to get a public records request for him. Do you guys have one? Or how do you do those?
Hold on just a minute and I'll get Karen to help us with it.
Karen?
Yes.
All right.
Our city clerk.
All right, cool. Oh, man. Karen.
You need a receipt?
He doesn't even live in the city. There's no point in him even coming in this City Hall.
No.
That's what they do all the time.
I know, it's just ridiculous. Nature's hometown.
Hello, how are you today, sir?
Hey, how are you?
Is
Good.
there anything I can help you with?
Do you guys have an official public records request form that I could take with me?
I
I've already
think,
got Miss Karen for it.
yes, so someone is gonna be out to
Awesome.
help you. Is there
Cool.
anything else I can help you with then?
No, you're very nice. Thanks.
No problem. ¿Tú necesitas anything? Háblame, okay?
Gracias.
No
Gracias.
problema.
Oh, they're really professional here, aren't they? Got no complaints. Yeah, he titled the video Karen. We'll see what happens.
Are you Karen? Oh, nice to meet you, Karen. Thank
her
you.
name is actually Karen.
This is it?
Oh,
All
there
right.
you go.
I'll just mail it in.
However you want to do it.
Do you know how long usually you guys take to return public records request?
It all depends upon how big the request is.
Okay. And how much does it cost?
It all depends upon if you want the records electronically or on paper. On paper, it's 15 cents a page. However many pieces of paper that is.
Okay.
Or if it's a big request, and
Shouldn't he know all this? It doesn't change from city to city.
He's
Well,
just
you're very
trying
helpful. Thank you
to
very much.
keep the
I
camera
will mail this
interface
in, and it was very nice meeting you,
to get a
Karen.
reaction.
You're the first Karen that treats me nice. I've met a lot of Karens. Take care.
You have a lovely afternoon.
You too. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
She was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, these people are great. Great. Great.
Who you calling Karen?
Umatilla. Umatilla City Hall, Florida. Share, like, and subscribe to Auditing America. That's why Mr. America does what he does. We'll see you next time.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
So he called her a Karen because her name was Karen. Okay. So that was a lot of false advertising in this video, as per usual. Yeah, clickbait. As per usual, that's what he's all about. So, I mean, I thought he didn't do horribly. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot for him to. He was really. You could tell he was trying to get some sort of reaction by, just kind of hanging around and asking the questions he asked. Just he gave them every opportunity to quote unquote fail as he could in the given time that he had.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was trying to get a phone number from that first girl.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, mucho gracias.
Yeah.
That's right. You're going to need more than one stamp. That is right, Aaron. And right, Horn, and Samuel is a dumbass. That is absolutely true.
I just hate the way they walk in and they're almost demanding as soon as they walk in.
True. I know, that's really stupid.
They have a really aggressive approach. And then they pace around like they've been waiting forever. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait in line.
All right, so the first thing I want to discuss today here is, will 2021 be worse than 2020? Now, this is going to be a two-parter.
Yes.
First, I want to know politically and, just how the world is. But also, before we get on that, in the world of auditing, 2020 was pretty out there with Glenn's racial tirade, furries, filming of veterinary clinics, filming of ODing people, men's and women's shelters, all that good stuff. Do you think that the same crop of auditors will do more worse, or will there be worse auditors that appear in 2021 and just outclass what the people did in 2020? Lavender, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said yesterday, 2021 is like hold my beer. It's just because I'm really into the generation thing. The kids that are running around now or semi-adults are the generation that we started giving everybody a trophy and everybody gets, a hug and a kiss and pat on the butt. No one ever says no or taught them to respect, as a child, and I'm the parent. They never respected me as a parent because I never made them do anything. They had carte blanche, and that's just ridiculous. And I think as they get older this year, the next round is coming up to turn 18. The more stupid they are, because they're very easily influenced, it seems, also.
Okay.
So if one comes up with this crazy idea like the Capitol, and they can spread it to the next one and the next one and the next one. And they're all like, yeah, let's do this. Thinking, I know they're thinking, if a ton of us go in there, how could I get in trouble? They won't arrest all of us,
Mhm.
you know. And as far as um, auditors go, yeah, I think they're going to get worse because they're running out of places to do it at. You know, everything's pretty much been covered as far as government places. Hornet.
Yeah, right.
But they're running out of places to do it. So they're going to start doing more private things to see what they can get away with. And I think it's going to be uglier. It's just my opinion.
I think, as far as I think a lot of things, when you're talking about how we don't punish the kids, the whole everyone gets a trophy thing. I do think that has contributed a lot to 2020, but I think, like we were talking about yesterday, it's just people's disdain for the government, how the government is working as well, as far as that goes. But yeah, you're right. I think a lot of it has to do with that. And as far as you're talking about the auditors, yeah, I think you're right. They are running out of places to audit, and especially with the pandemic and most of their usual haunts being closed and they can't get the reactions they want. They're having to find new and interesting places to get their reactions, and it's going to push them. It's sort of like deforestation, but for auditors. They're getting their home habitat is being destroyed, so they're forced to move into cities, and it's causing not only residents fear, but also it's causing them to be hurt and all that. I no, don't get me wrong. I don't want any auditors hurt, shot, or anything. I don't want to see anyone shot. Whoa.
With a taser.
Yeah, maybe Glenn with a taser, maybe Furry with a taser, but shot with a gun. No, I don't want to see anyone die. But maybe shit themselves. I can live with them shitting themselves. That'll be okay. But yeah, but I think you're right. I think things are going to get worse, definitely before they get better. Especially if the whole year 2021 is like 2020 and we're on lockdown. I think it's just going to get worse all around if we remain on lockdown because people are going to be out of work. They're going to get even more frustrated. And it's just, it's all bad. What do you think, Gary?
Oh, I think they're just going to go crazy this year. They know what they can get away with, and just like you two were saying, they're running out of places to go, so they're just going to be hitting up anybody, and sooner or later somebody's going to take it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. So Cliff says some auditors are getting kids out with them to learn how to fight the tyrants, as a couple said about 2 weeks ago on a stream. Wow, that is just crazy.
In other words, they're taking their kids out and showing them how to disrespect authority figures and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Julie, they might get killed. Yeah, some of them might. I mean, if they keep pushing their luck and if people, especially like Omaha, if he continues to do the things that he does, his tactics, I'm afraid that he's going to run into an extremely nervous officer and something bad is going to happen. And he'll,
and I don't believe it'll be officers pulling the trigger, especially if the social climate gets any worse. It's going to be a citizen that they approach, or they see the citizen will see them approaching someone, being aggressive and everything, calling them names, and it's just going to get. I really think it'll be just a citizen that shoots a frauditor.
As trigger happy as this society is getting, yeah, I can agree there.
Yeah, especially if people. Yeah, I agree, and especially some people go out doing their Second Amendment audits. They really risk injury too. I think a lot of them that do it know it too.
Absolutely, they're waiting for that paycheck.
That's pretty sad too. It's like, but I mean, the check is kind of looking kind of good, especially with the climate of the world, the way the world is right now. You know, I mean, free money. That's pretty good to me.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't go as far as they're going to get it, but
yeah,
you know.
I'm not willing to risk my life to get a check. And that's what they're doing, hoping they get shot and live through it.
So Robert Castlaw says the frauditors are using the kids as shields, like Patty uses his patsies. I mean, friends. well, Josh Abrams could have been like that too. He was definitely using Omaha, New England, all these people. So I mean, yeah, a lot of they are doing that, and fortunately, it sucks. You know, it's just not the way kids shouldn't be using that way. Nobody should be using that way, not just kids. No human being should be using that way, unfortunately.
No.
It's almost like drug dealers. They drug dealers get little kids because they're underage, and if they do, they won't get arrested. If they do, they'll just have their parents come get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Vlad says 2021 is definitely going to be worse than 2020. Biden is president.
I don't even think it has a lot to do with that.
No, I don't either. I mean, because I think for one, well, I think it kind of does. I think I know what Vlad's getting at. Because think about it this way: people are tired of the establishment the way it is right now, and Biden is nothing. Biden is nothing but the current establishment the way it is. He's what? His whole career he was a central Democrat, right? And now he seems to be swaying a lot more left than he has ever in his career, and people are tired of it. What's up, Asian?
Hey, what's
Asian?
up, Lavender, Gary? How are you guys?
Where were you yesterday?
Happy Sunday.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. Doing well.
It's good.
Dinner is in the oven.
All right. What are you guys having?
I made meatloaf.
Oh, I love meatloaf. Nice.
Meatloaf.
Now, you don't ruin it with ketchup, right?
No. I use 3 ground meats: ground beef, ground pork, and ground liver, just to make it exciting from a meatloaf perspective. And then I chop up some onions, carrots, fresh garlic, throw that in there, salt and pepper, a little bit of table seasoning, and then flat leaf Italian parsley. I chop that up, throw it in there. I throw some Romano cheese, grated Romano cheese. I throw an egg in there, and then I'll give you my secret. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sliced white bread soaked in whole milk. And then you squeeze out the excess milk and you throw that into the mix and you mix it all up and you make your meatball, whatever shape you want, you throw it in the oven and you're good to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Everything sounds good except the liver. Everything except the liver sounds great.
Good point.
Liver
Sometimes my boys aren't a liver fan either. I don't tell them, but sometimes I just use ground beef and ground pork. But it's a must. You got to use at least 2 meats if you're going to make meatloaf, or else it's going to turn into like a big hamburger.
Oh, okay. And what's wrong with it? Yeah, true. If you're going to have a meatloaf, you don't want it to be a hamburger. Good point. Good point. Yeah. I'm going to say, what's wrong with a hamburger? Like, well, if you're having meatloaf, there's a problem with the hamburger.
Thanks for letting me get that out.
And I like it with ketchup.
My boys do that. We do that on the side for my boys because I know they like the ketchup. But my wife and I, we rather have the gravy. We have brown gravy.
Yes, gravy. Awesome. What's up, Sean?
Hello.
Hi, Sean.
How are you today?
Yes,
Sean.
it's a Go Saints Sunday.
Yay.
That's right.
Before I get to Asian and Sean's opinion, there's something I saw before you guys came on that I wanted to.
What's that?
Looking for a comment. All right, here we go. So Robert Castlaw says that is why certain frauditors that manipulate others should be put in prison. Do you guys agree with that statement?
If
they put them all in prison,
they're taking advantage of those people in a unlawful way.
Okay, there we go. Unlawful. Fair enough. Gary?
Yeah, I put all the frauditors in prison.
Okay. Sean, what do you think?
Not just for the ones that are manipulating kids.
Take them off
I think-
YouTube. Okay.
That if you just take away their ability to communicate to the minions,
I think, well, even just demonetizing them.
yeah, but that won't stop them from getting money from their acolytes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
We said, hey, if they can take the president off Twitter, we can take Glenn off YouTube.
Asian, what do you think?
I think ultimately it depends on the extent of the manipulation, but at the very least, they should be called out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with Asian and Lavender. If it's illegal, if they're illegally doing it, then yes, they should be arrested. But I don't think they should just be, arrested just because they're manipulating somebody. I mean, people manipulate people all the time. If we start throwing people in jail for simple manipulation, the jails would be way overcrowded, right? And
Yes.
and the entertainment industry would be non-existent as well.
Yeah,
let's be fair.
Right.
So instead of frauditors, can we just call them pimps?
No, they'd like that.
Although technically that would work too.
It would.
That's
it
only
would.
for what, Rolando?
Well,
I think Anselmo would like it too. I think Anselmo would like it too, beating women and all that stuff. He's already halfway there. I wonder if he pimps Willie out.
Anselmo.
Oh, you can't pimp the willing.
What's up, Sasquatch? How are you?
Sasquatch?
Sasquatch, you there?
I'm binge watching The Mandalorian.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
There's a lot of that going around lately.
Yeah.
No, you guys forgot about a bunch of things when you were talking earlier.
Yeah, we're not done there. We're going to get everyone's opinion. But I just want to get all the introductions out real quick. All right, so Asian, what about you? Do you think 2021 will be worse than 2020? Not just from a government standpoint or from the people standpoint, but from an auditing standpoint as well.
Kenny, who was the question to?
You, Asian.
Oh, to me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My apologies.
Pay attention.
Did you
my
change your
apologies.
name?
Yeah, right. I should. Right. This is a hard one. It's a hard one to answer. It's an educated guess.
True.
I think it depends. I mean, I think it always depends on these types of questions. Will 2021 be worse than 2020? Government-wise, possibly. Riot-wise, definitely. But one thing I am looking forward to is the legalization of marijuana at the federal level.
That's something.
Because if that's going to happen, if that's going to happen, this is sort of like the regime, for lack of a better term, that's going to legalize it at the federal level. And I think, again, being biased, I think it's going to have tremendous value, not only to individuals, but from a government perspective too. An example of that is taxing it. And generating revenue over it, because we sure as hell spent a lot of money lately, and we're in a mass deficit, as you can imagine.
Regulate it.
Absolutely, right on those accounts. Now, what about from auditing standpoint?
I think it's going to get worse for auditors, again, simply because of the new regime that's apparently coming in. Their thought processes are a little bit different when it comes to the Constitution, I think, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for auditors, let alone frauditors, or difficult for frauditors, let alone auditors. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. So before we get to Sean, I just don't want to lose this question. The last one. Should sex work be decriminalized on a nationwide base? Let's start with you, Lavin. What do you think?
What the hell?
What? Well, we'll get to everyone. I just wanted to answer this question real quick before before I lost it.
Define sex work.
Well, like prostitution, I'm assuming. They're meaning prostitution.
No. It should not be legalized.
And why not?
Because of the spread of disease. We've got enough shit going on. And if you
Well,
legalize it, it's just going to get out of control.
if they regulate it like they did, like for instance, we've had the porn industry for a really long time, and Nevada has it, and there's no rampant disease spread in either category. I mean, either
They see the doctor once a week there.
So they could. There's a way they could.
I just think it would be a bad idea.
Fair enough. I mean, it's your opinion, no problem. Fair enough. But yeah, I'm just there are places where I think it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I mean, if you're against it, you're against it. That's just really all there is to that. Gary, what do you think?
No, I don't think it'll be legalized.
And why not?
Too many young girls will try to get into it at an early age and just right down the road to ruin.
Okay, fair enough. Sasquatch, what do you think?
I'm going to answer it after the next question.
Okay. Sean.
Well, I know from living as many years in Nevada as I did how toughly regulated it really is as far as age of girls, health restrictions, guidelines. If they wanted to do it in other states, now Nevada votes on it. The only hardcore rules in Nevada are as far as size of the county, which means, of course, that the Reno, Tahoe area and Las Vegas don't have it legally. But down in Vegas, say, if you go across the state line, the county line to Nye County, all of a sudden you're in brothel heaven there. But the people voted for it. You have air bases there, and the people have said we'd rather the soldiers be at the brothel than in town. But Nevada has a little bit of a Wild West mentality anyway. But if you were going to have it, you'd have to have it regulated like Nevada does and confer with them how do you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Asian, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a slippery slope topic. You could really go either way on this one. There's a lot of sensitivity behind it for obvious reasons. Look, I'm under the mindset that almost generally speaking in everything, if you regulate it and just make it better, make it healthier, safer for people who want to consume it, I think generally speaking that's the better way to go, rather than having sort of like a black market or an underground. I start thinking about things like sex trafficking, underage females being forced to do this against their will. So to eliminate all of that nonsense, in general, at the highest level, I'm just about regulating it, legalizing it, so that essentially some other entity can better control it for safety and all that other stuff, human rights reasons and that stuff. I hope that makes sense. I don't mean to beat around the bush.
No, I agree with you on a front. Like, if they did legalize it and they regulated it, it wouldn't stop human trafficking. It wouldn't stop human sex work. I mean, sex crimes, but it could limit them, and it would make it harder for them to earn a living doing that, because you would have to have a necessary license in order to, do what you do. You would be required to show the license. So if they don't have it, well, guess what? They're out of work, and it's not as profitable as it once was, and so therefore the penalty far outweighs the economical revenue you might get from doing such crimes. So it could limit it. It definitely will not stop it, but I think it would definitely bring the numbers down.
Yeah, I like the word discourage.
And we know government can regulate and control things so much better when it's a bigger government.
Well, you take the street pimp out too.
Yeah, that's the other point, correlating it back to legalizing marijuana at the federal level. What's going to happen to all the nickel bag drug dealers on the streets once it gets legalized, right?
They're going to turn to crime because they got to make their money.
That's a fair point, Sasquatch. It's the
They'll
infamous,
just pick a different illicit drug.
That's right. Unfortunately, again, that's why it's a slippery slope, is what I meant. It's the infamous ripple effect.
Yes.
Pushing problems around.
I think
Sorry,
some
Sean.
people liked it more when it was illegal, as opposed to they go to the dispensary now. It's like, well, it's not as much fun. Well, what's all these taxes I got to pay on this stuff? I never used to pay taxes.
So I kind of look at it like hitting the lotto. Like I don't mind paying my taxes if I hit the lotto, right? It's sort of like I don't know. I guess because I put it in my body, I consume it, right? I would rather have it regulated simply because of the quality of product that you would get and the safety factors behind it, rather than going to the local, nickel bag drug dealer on the street. Who knows where he's getting his stuff and what it's laced with, right?
Well, look at that too, but look at it this way. Just look at the quality of marijuana since the government got involved has quadrupled.
Yep.
I mean, it is so much better than it was when it was illegal. I mean, and it's more pure. You don't got to worry about it being laced with anything that you're gonna die from or something like that, because the government's making sure that none of that shit happens. So that's a plus from, but then again, it's, but to get the taxes, but to do the taxes, what I like here around California is if you keep your medical exemption card, you don't got to worry about the taxes.
Well, the whole nation will be sick at one time.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then if they legalize marijuana and you got a medical marijuana card, well, then by golly, you ought to pay your own freaking medical.
Yeah.
You got money to buy pot, you certainly got enough money to buy some health insurance.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Fair enough.
Oh, and
all right, so
there in Nevada, everybody who does work at the brothels and also the owners of the establishments, they do pay federal income tax.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get back to your original question. Will 2021 be worse than 2020? Sasquatch, what do you think, sir?
Yes, absolutely. They're already on their way up from South America. Thousands already on their way.
What do you mean?
They're going to open the frickin' borders and let them all in, and whatever jobs we do have left after Biden ruins this economy, they're going to have them all because they'll work for nothing, which is more than what they're making now. And everybody here in the States is going to be shit out of luck.
So what are you saying?
Keep the borders. Can't have a nation if you don't have borders.
I agree. I don't know. I don't think Biden's going to open up the board like everyone thinks he's going to. I don't think he's going to do all that. Do I think he's going to be more lax? I think he'll be more lax.
He said he was going to open the borders.
That'll be the stupidest thing he could possibly do, and I think his advisors know that. Especially with the pandemic still going on the way it is.
Julie. It's not BS. It's what's going to happen.
I'd say it's
BS.
Biden's
going to fuck this country up.
No, I didn't say BS. That it will be stupid.
Sounds a little racist.
Racist? What?
Yeah, that your biggest issue of 2021 is going to be.
I'm white. Biden's white. What?
Hey, Sasquatch.
Because the illegals are coming up. Well, they're going to be coming in from all over the world. They're going to head to South America. They're going to travel up through Mexico and all that. I ain't saying it's just Latinas that are coming up here. They're going to be going all over the world.
Well, that was my question to Sasquatch and follow-up was, could they be coming up or could they also be coming down from Canada?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
They're going to be trying to get in any way they can.
And I really don't think it's a black and white issue.
No,
like,
it's not.
You open up the borders or you don't. I think they need...
Well, I'm not racist. I judge people by their works. You know, like Martin Luther King said. That's how I judge people. Not by the color of their skin.
I just don't think it's going to be as big an issue as everyone's making it out to be. Just like it wasn't such a big issue when Trump came in and did a lot of shit he did. Everyone was scared what he was going to do. I think it's the same. People are just afraid of change. They like things. They like the status quo. And Biden's going to come in, and yeah, he's going to change things because he's idealistically a lot different from Trump, completely. So yes, he's going to come in and change some things that Trump already established. But Trump, you got to remember, Biden is also more aware of coronavirus, and he has more of a plan than Trump had. So
What?
Trump,
He spouts the same thing that Trump was doing.
he does not say that.
Yes, he says
Trump was
the
saying
exact same thing.
Trump
that
was saying
doing.
the virus wasn't real.
One
Biden
at a
never said the
time,
virus
guys.
wasn't
No,
real.
he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He pretty much
He said it came from China.
Yeah, he also said that if you don't test anybody, the numbers won't go up.
Oh, he was following the lead of good old Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci never
Fauci
said
was
that.
the one that said that.
No, he didn't.
Look at
That's the
him.
stupidest. No, he didn't. Fauci never said that. Fauci's a doctor. He knows that just because you don't test,
time. It's
just because you don't.
Easy.
No, I agree. I
And
agree.
he says another the next day. He says another the next day.
No, I agree. Fauci has said some things that are counterproductive, and yeah, I agree. But Trump totally didn't take this fucking pandemic
Biden
seriously.
wouldn't have been able to handle it the way Trump did when it first came, because Biden was saying everybody go out. He's telling everybody to go out. Don't wear masks. Go out, enjoy life.
Trump was telling people not to wear masks. Trump himself never wore a mask. Are you kidding me?
He wore a mask.
After what? Months and months and months of everything that was going on? Are you kidding me? He never wore a mask for a long time. He was the main proponent that said this thing isn't real. It came from China, which is true.
He's also social distancing pretty well, too.
Well, he had no choice.
Not near as good as Biden was. I mean,
now he is.
Biden stayed in his basement.
Now he's social distancing, but before he got coronavirus, he wasn't doing shit. He wasn't social distancing. He was up there taking pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that good stuff. Then he got corona, and then all of a sudden the shit became real for him.
Yeah. Whatever.
Just a course correction, if I may. So although COVID-19 was sourced from China, that's not how it got to the U.S. It actually went from China to Europe, and then the Europeans brought it to the U.S. Just a course correction.
Well, and the coronavirus has been around since the 40s.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's another new strain of COVID variation that occurred, has been discovered out of England. FYI, they are in total lockdown right now, that country. FYI.
Wow. Well, that's the thing. COVID is nothing new. The COVID, the one that we're dealing with, what's COVID-19. Dogs actually carry like COVID-7 or something like that all the time, and it just doesn't. We don't worry about it because it doesn't affect us. So yeah, there's nothing new about this whole COVID thing. It's just, it's something we're dealing with now, and that really sucks that there's a new strain. That's horrible.
Yep, there's a new strain out of the UK.
Well, that's what viruses do.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
true,
morph.
true. Yeah,
They morph. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay, so moving on, Sean, what do you think? 2021 will be worse than... Oh, I'm sorry, Sasquatch. What about the sex work? I'm sorry, you didn't answer about that.
No, it shouldn't be legal.
Okay, and why not?
Well, it opens the door for all kinds of stuff. The diseases that, the porn industry has proved that, the diseases happen. Underage, these girls, fake IDs, guys too, I'm sure. True. They'll have the fake IDs, and it's not to mention the fact that if you get the government more involved, it's just going to fuck it up. Mm-hmm. The government has proved over and over and over again that anything they get involved in, they fuck it up. And it just costs the taxpayers more money.
Fair enough. That's true. And yeah, like you said, mistakes do happen. Underage people do get involved. I think what the big thing in porn was Marilyn Chambers, I think, was the one they found out.
Tracy Lords.
That's who it was. Tracy Lords. My bad.
Yeah. So like in her 20s when she started.
No.
Okay, we'll see.
No,
my bad.
She was 15 when she started porn. She said she was 18.
Yeah, Tracy Lords. Yeah, they didn't do good follow up on her at that time.
And also, there is the accusations in the porn industry also of, what was it? Somebody was saying that they were forced into making the movies.
Linda Lovelace.
There we go. Someone.
Those porn stars don't buy it. They said no.
So there's just, yeah, so it could lead to some issues. So Sasquatch, I see what you're talking about there. All right, now, Sean, 2021 will be worse than 2020.
Things will be better. And I'll tell you why. Number one, I'm an optimist. I'm a firm believer not only in our country, but in other countries' abilities to adapt. And we're getting the vaccine out there. We're starting this year ahead of last year in that we have hope this time. I don't think Biden's going to wreck the country. Biden's a longtime politician. He's got friends on both sides.
What has he done? What has Biden ever done?
That's the whole thing.
That helped this country out.
We don't know it yet. A lot of senators do.
No, in his 50 years of being up there, what has Biden ever done to help the country?
I'm sure he's done a lot of things. Voted for a lot of things we had.
One thing.
I'm not going to have this fight right now because I'm an independent. So it's not.
I've looked into it. He hasn't done anything. I
don't think that's true. I think a lot of senators do a lot of good things, and they just don't publicize it. They go to work, 200 days out of the year, and most of the time we don't hear about it. We only hear about it now because we have C-SPAN. We have more news coverage. For years, senators and congressmen toiled up there, and nobody really saw them or heard them do anything. But I just think, we had the blip to start the year, and we'll deal with it next week. If anybody wants to get out of line, rubber bullet the knees, just open fire on their kneecaps and say that will stop it. Clown time is over. It's time to move on.
Oh, now it's over. They only tried to impeach the president since the day before he got elected.
That was all ceremonial and decorative, and that was for their people, but it means nothing in the long run because it's never going to be confirmed.
This is true. All right, so
I'm talking when President Trump was coming into office. The day before, they started to find anything on him to impeach him.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Oh, yeah, both
but they wasted 4 years of doing nothing but attack the president for 4 years.
And I think
Biden deserves the same. We should attack Biden for 4 years.
I'm saying,
or actually, he's not going to last that long. They're gonna get rid of him and put Kamala in. Anyways,
Kenny, keywords is going, and I better just get out before we have fights. Okay.
Well, we're actually getting rid of. We're changing subjects.
You don't have to leave.
We're changing subjects anyway because everyone was asked a question. Now let's move on. We're going to talk about. I don't know if you guys have known this. Save Our Stages. With COVID-19 going on, a lot of movie theaters have been shut down. A lot of the entertainment industry is really taking a hit due to all this, the job closures and all that. There's a thing going on called Save Our Stages. And actually, when they passed the COVID relief bill, it actually had some money given to some of these theaters to make sure that they, are able to open back up. Everything is all done. So, we don't lose some of our core entertainment. I just want to know everyone's thoughts on this. Should this have been something that we worry about saving, or do you think we could have, it should have just let it die and all that? Lavender, what do you think?
Well, I feel bad for the theater owners, but I don't feel bad for the actors or anything. And with as far as watching movies and entertainment, I can get all that off my computer or my TV.
Okay, true. I understand that, but what about? So you say you don't care about the actors? Then, then would you wouldn't get any more new entertainment then, because there would be no actors to do it. So you'd have to.
You're saying theaters. You're not saying.
Well, yeah, but if there's no theaters to play their work, they're not going to make the movies anymore.
Yeah, they are. They're doing it now. Wonder Woman opened it on home streaming the same day it opened in the theater.
Yeah, but how the hell they really expect people to pay $50 plus a subscription to a service to fucking watch a movie?
People will do it.
Yeah.
It's not a very good business model. It's not going to last forever. They're doing it now because they figure it's something that is going to be not permanent. But what if it becomes permanent? Do you think that's a great business model? I don't personally.
It's worked for Netflix.
But yeah, but they don't charge $50 for a fucking premiere. It's $20 for their service, and you can watch anything you want. It's not
But they make it on
20.
volume.
It's not the $20 plus $50 to watch a specific title.
Well, that'll get cheaper. Remember when videotapes were $45?
Okay,
Right.
true. All right, true. It could get cheaper. That's
Actors
true.
and
Good
actresses
point.
will have to learn to, instead of working for umpteen million, they have to work for a few million and some points. And
Right.
I think the days of the megaplex, the 30 theaters in the big complex, that's over.
You have my vote.
Thank you.
All right,
I'd agree with that.
Okay, so Gary, what do you think? Save our
Everybody
sage.
just said what I was getting ready to say.
All right, fair
I
enough.
think,
Asian, what?
I think mostly the actors. I think it'll bring in a new bunch of young, good actors, because a lot of these people to get up there and sign up for a movie for $20 million. That's kind of the going rate for the big time guys. And a shitty movie or not, they still make their $20 million.
So, what do you think? Maybe depending on audience reaction, they should wait till should influence how much they get paid. You think?
Well, the movie industry is going to turn to Netflix, or Hulu, all the rest of these people that are on there. I think that's going to be the next big wave.
Yeah. No. Also,
Yeah.
judging that's going to cause these streaming services to increase their price.
They'll come out
Hey,
with a separate one. Like
Horse and Buggy's gone too, man.
Yeah. True. Good point.
I think
fair enough.
they could come out with a separate channel or service, like Discovery Plus just came out,
Well, yeah. Okay.
and you have to pay a separate subscription fee for that.
Or they'll come out with tiers.
Disney Plus, I just spent $65 on that so I could binge watch The Mandalorian. It's awesome, by the way.
I
Yes,
heard
it
it.
is.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't
haven't
shelled out
seen
the
any
money
of it
for.
either.
The first episode sucks ass, but everyone after that, it just gets better and better and better.
I don't have Disney Plus yet. I have Netflix, I have Prime, I have Hulu, and then I just got HBO Max because I want to watch a Big Bang Theory, and I'm like, it's the only place I can find it. So yeah, not quite Disney Plus
It's on
yet.
Netflix.
Dance of the Dragons is coming too.
Why not just hack the Fire Stick?
Because I don't know how to. I'm not technologically savvy like that.
The way I hack them is I just plug it in and then put it into my computer or into the modem, and then
I shouldn't say that, but
So Asian, what do you think? Save versus Ages.
so just point of clarification there. You're talking about movie theaters?
Well, yeah, the movie theaters and also Broadway and stuff like that.
See, that's hard because one is live, whereas one is not. So I'm not sure if it's an apples to apples. I think you have to keep it separate because I feel like here's what I mean. Movie theaters, nobody saved Blockbuster.
Yeah, good point.
It's an evolution. We're progressing through time. Everything is going internet. Everything is virtual reality, virtual screens, on demand, phones, tablets, TVs, top boxes, sticks, what have you. It's just inevitable. Organically, movie theaters, unfortunately, going to take the brunt of it, just like Blockbuster did when VHS, Betamax, even that. I mean, even after that was CDs, right? DVDs. Inevitably, they're going to diminish through time. So no, it's not worth pouring federal money into saving movie theaters. Broadway is a different perspective because of the fact that you have direct people, livelihoods that will get impacted. Some will argue the experience as well. Well, I've always enjoyed going on a date and going to the movie movie theater and sitting in the back row and making out, you know, necking, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, there's two sides, but I think movie theaters, no. Broadway, possibly. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to be too long-winded because I can get very logical.
Now, why? Here's a question. I want to see what you mean by possibly. What reasons could you think of to not say Broadway?
Well, because again, you're looking at federal budget. You're looking at federal money being allocated.
Okay.
You know, state, city donations is a different story, right? But on the federal level, there's just other priorities. That would be my first and foremost argument, is that we need to focus on infrastructure, education, healthcare, infrastructure being part of the border, the regulations of border protection. I'm not saying that a wall is necessarily needed to do that, but do I think that we need to reevaluate how immigration is processed through this country, whether it's through Canada, Central America, and beyond? Absolutely. Right? Things like that. Defunding the police. I don't agree with defunding the police. I actually think we should increase budget for the police so that they can get additional training, better equipment. Why is it that only some have body cameras? Everyone should have a body camera. Everyone should have rubber bullets. Why is it that the only weapon a police officer has is their service revolver? And that's a deadly weapon, and it needs to be circumstantial. So what about tasers? What about rubber bullets? Right? Things like this, but it takes money to do it. And I believe that's more priority in this country in this moment in time than saving Broadway. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I got you. That's a great argument. Sean, what do you think?
Well, I would go, it's a little bit opposite of that, because I think we're talking about the money to save Broadway it's a percentage of the overall federal budget is minimal. And also, it's a landmark. It's a part, New York City, whether we love them or hate them, they're important. And we need to get that going again, because guess what? All that brings in taxes. It brings in people staying in hotels. It brings, tourist dollars. It's a lot of money coming in. It's a lot of sales tax and income tax paid on that.
That's a good point. That's a great argument to what Asian was saying.
People will flock from across the country, at least the first year. People who like, to see big time actors, and I think you'll see big time actors doing it, because I think an actor, they get the itch. They haven't been on a stage. I know comedians are going through this too. Jerry Seinfeld said he hasn't been on a stage in so long that you just start going stir crazy. You need an audience. So unlike movies, of course, movies are shot take after take. Broadway, or any other big theater around the country, it just happens, good or bad.
A lot of big actors actually do still go on stage. Pacino is still big on Broadway. Sam Jackson got his start doing live theater. So I mean, they still do those sort of things. So, and people are going to flock to see those big names do these roles, see them live, really see them expanding their acting chops, so to speak. Sasquatch, what do you think?
I disagree. They should shut them down.
Okay.
Because, well, they shouldn't be receiving federal funds for one. I mean, what they pay for their tickets, what they charge for their tickets should, every other business has got to do it on their own. All these theaters out here in the Midwest and all that, they got to do it on their own. They're not getting federal funds. No, cut them off.
That's true. So this is kind of like in the same vein, but remember back in the day when Bush saved all the auto companies? Did you guys agree with that, or do you guys think that shouldn't have been done either? Let's start with you, Lavender. What do you think? I know this is kind of like it doesn't matter, but I'm just curious from everyone's perspective on this.
Well, I don't see how it worked out very well, as so many of them closed down. Anyway.
Good point. Greg, what do you think? Gary, I'm sorry. Gary, what do you think?
Well, I think, to, if it means laying off a whole bunch of people and shutting down plants, then yeah, they need to, but not make it the big scandal that it turned into.
Asian?
What scandal did it turn into?
There's so much complaining and criticizing of the big bailout, as they called it.
Right. So you got Kenny. You're referring to the bailout of the car industry.
Auto companies. Yeah, the auto companies. Yeah.
Similar to how we bailed out the
Banks.
finance company, the banks, the
Yeah.
AIG, etc. Right.
That's which I think most everybody's going to agree that we need to bail out the banks, but I'm sure there's different perspectives on the car.
Here's an now. When I answer my questions, it's at the highest level because there's always intricacies and details right within it, right? Because it's a big topic, right? But at the end of the day, yes, we needed to do it, right? I'm not saying the way we went about it was necessarily the right way, but if you're just looking for a yes or no answer, should we have walked away from the car industry? No, we should never do that. Now we're talking about priorities and impact. The scale of having our auto industry collapse in this country, it would have had all kinds of ramifications, economical, social. We'd all be driving. I mean, look, I could go on and on. That bottom line is, for me, yes, we needed to do something. I'm not agreeing with the way we did it, but we needed to do something.
Now, here's a question to you, Asian. Now, I don't think it would have been a complete collapse. I think they were crying wolf a little bit. I think that they would have had to scale back. They ended up scaling back anyway, even after they got all the funding, right? They would have had to scale back more. Yeah, they wouldn't have had all of maybe they would have got rid of their luxury lines and all that, but they eventually could have got it all back. They could have went back to like it was when we first came out. You had the Ford Model T, and that was the only fucking car you had, right? It could have went back to something similar like that, and they could have built it all back without all the government funds. That's my argument. Not only that, but more companies would have sprouted up because it would have had competition. People were like, well, wait a minute, we don't want to try this. So it could have inspired competition.
Yeah, and that's what I meant, Kenny. I didn't necessarily agree with the way we did it, but if you're just looking for a yes or no, my answer is yes at the highest level.
Okay. Well, I wasn't just looking for a yes or no. I mean, I just if you think that, all right, so you say yes, but you think it could have handled. Well, how do you think we could have handled it better?
Yeah, that's the part where it gets into a lot of, not sure if I want to open up that can of worms per se.
Okay, well, fair enough. Maybe we'll have that for a show on its own. That way we don't
totally.
take up the whole thing. All right, so Sean, what do you think?
I think with the auto industry, considering it's something, once again, it's one of those Americana type things because, cars started here, as far as big time cars, and Detroit was the home of all cars at one time. You said, we're going to give you this money, but here's the rules. You can't sell a car for more than this. If you're playing with our money, you got to play by our rules. And then give the American taxpayer, hey, we'll give you a tax break if you buy American cars. You find a way to get it moving.
Fucking A.
Okay. Sasquatch, what do you think?
I agree with him. Absolutely. But I don't think they should have bailed him out. Definitely not the financial companies, because that was crooked from the get-go. But I'm kind of yes and no on the car companies. I'm leaning towards no, but like Asian said, he could have did it different.
And
I mean,
and always keep in mind, I'm sorry to interject, but always keep in mind it's easier to answer these questions after the fact.
True. No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I was just curious, though. I mean, I know it's not relative or important or anything, but we were talking about safer stages, and I just thought everyone's answers were quite unique, so I wanted to delve back to kind of see what you guys were thinking on something that already did happen.
I felt that way back then. No company is ever too big not to fail.
I'm with you on that one. I think companies.
To be clear, I'm sorry, but it's not a company that was going to fail. It's an entire industry.
There would
have been a ripple effect.
That's what's different. But see, like the financials, those were companies. It wasn't a whole institution. Those were companies that got bailed out. private companies that got bailed out.
Yeah, the financial sector, that's a different story in
Oh,
itself.
I agree.
I mean,
I
with,
think
with the fudging of numbers and WorldCom and Enron, if you guys
Yeah.
remember those
Oh.
scandals,
Yeah.
Enron, I mean, one of the biggest scandals, right, of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
It kind of cost Barney Frank his career because he's the one who guaranteed Freddie Mac. Who the head of the banking committee?
All right, so Chief, welcome. First of all, welcome. Sorry it took so long to get to you. How are you doing today?
Hey, Chief.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How's everybody on the panel doing?
Okay.
Doing very well, Chief. How are
Hey,
you, sir?
Chief.
Much more fun. We'd probably get arrested.
All right,
I think
All
I'd
right,
rather get arrested right now.
all right, so Chief, we're just kind of having a little discussion right now. We're talking about Save Our Sages. But before you came on, we were talking about, I want to get your opinion on this. The question asked was, will 2021 be worse than 2020? What is your take on that?
Oh, I think 2021 is going to be way better than 2020. I think there's going to be some things that happen. I don't know exactly how it's going to formulate. I think the new administration is going to probably come in strong. They're going to do a lot of executive orders right away. They're going to try to make things moving. I heard through the major media, the social media, that he might put out another stimulus right after he gets sworn in. So I really have a lot of positive hopes for 2021. I know it can't possibly get any worse. I mean, this whole year has been a clusterfuck, and I'm sorry. I mean, this has just been an absolute disaster. It's like we were all walking in a minefield, and we all stepped on the same mine at the same time.
Now, what about Save Our Stages? What do you think about that? Do you think that now I don't know if you're any familiar with this movement, but it's a movement to save Broadway, but also to save like the theaters companies, also like the movie theater companies. They're trying to get federal funding to keep afloat.
Okay, well, I'm not so sure about like all those main theaters in like New York City or all the major metropolitan areas, but there's a lot of theaters down in the country that are not on Broadway or even off Broadway or whatever they call it. There's a lot of people who work and act, and like my favorite, I mean, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite shows. I always go see A Christmas Carol live down in Central Ohio every Christmas, and seeing it live is way better than seeing it like on film or in a DVD. You know what I mean? And I think if that's the case, if you're asking me that, yeah, I think they should be helped out, because it's not for everybody, but people who like live action, it's very strong for the people who like that kind of stuff.
I agree. Okay, Greg, what's up? What's up, Greg? How are you?
All right. I just tuned in, so I have no idea about what topic is going on. And
we're gonna get to you. We're gonna get you caught up. So before you came on, just like I asked Chief, we're asking everyone: do you believe 2021 will be worse than 2020, or do you think it'll be better?
Well, I got a saying, kind of, that I made up. Well, no. Remain optimistic to the future.
So you believe 2021 will be better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right on. That's great. It's good to hear people think it's going to be better. All right. Also, now on to the. Yeah.
No,
I'm
tired of people saying, "Oh, 2021 will be even worse." We're still in fucking January.
No, that's why I'm asking, because you never know. But then again, you could also say, look at all that's happened, and it's only January.
Huh?
You could also argue, look at all that's happened, and it's only January.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like trying to call a football game in the end of the first quarter. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, remember last year? Remember the Super Bowl with the Niners thought they pretty much won it, and then what happened? They lost. So that's a good point.
Who they lose to?
I don't want
Oh,
to talk
yeah.
about that right now. I don't want to talk about that right
Chiefs.
now.
That's right.
I don't want to talk about that.
And let's not forget Atlanta 28-3 in the fourth quarter.
I don't want to talk about that. So
Anyway,
Uh-oh.
the foul clowns.
Well, the rest of us want to talk about it.
Oh no, somebody's triggered.
Triggered.
How much money did you lose on the game, Kenny?
Actually, none. I don't bet on sports games because I know that I just don't do it.
I don't play fantasy football and I don't bet on my team. I
I actually thought about doing a fantasy football next year.
I can't
on my channel. I think that would be kind of fun.
Okay, but I root for my team.
Really?
Yeah, maybe next year I'll do a fantasy football.
Because I've been thinking about learning how to play football myself.
Well, you might want to get learned because we might be doing it next year.
There's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, there are.
Kenny, can I just make a quick not a clarification, but just I guess it's a clarification, please.
Go for it.
Just to be absolutely clear, I agree with what Greg said about fundamentally we as just the human race should be optimistic about our future. Just in case people didn't understand that coming from me as well.
All right, so
has anybody ever heard the term that if you expect good things will happen? My mom used to say that. I know I'm kind of old school, but
I've heard that too.
My mom grew up during the Depression, and they had to really they were on rationing, and it was bad back when my mom was young. And she used to say, "Man, if you expect good things will happen." And you know what? I think she was right. God bless her soul.
Yeah.
No, I think that's true as well. I agree with that.
I also think karma helps a little bit too.
Yeah.
All right, so next we're going to be moving on to our next subject. Should parents be able to watch Zoom classes? Now, there are certain aspects of the Zoom classes where it says that the parents are not supposed to watch the Zoom classes. I was watching Fox News and I was watching a story, and they were talking about the Zoom classes, and apparently there are some schools that are making the kids sign something or have something that says the parents shouldn't be watching the classes. Now, do you guys agree with that, or do you guys not agree with that? Should parents be allowed to watch the Zoom classes? Let's start with you, Lavin. Actually, no, let's go opposite. Let's start with Greg first. There we go.
No, they shouldn't. It's like bringing your mom to school for 12 years, or if you get held back. Yeah, Mom, let's go to high school. You got to come with me in my freshman year.
But don't you think parents should be allowed to know what exactly the school is teaching their parents? Teaching their kids? What if it's a secret society? What's a secret society for salt worshippers or salt worshippers, and they're secretly telling your kids pepper is evil. You love salt. I'm just throwing that out there so no one gets pissed off.
All right. Okay, somebody's going to have to catch me up. What the hell is a Zoom class?
Oh my God!
Zoom classes. They're like it's distance learning. It's all schools now are you pretty much video chatting school classes.
It's remote learning, Chief.
Yeah, remote learning.
Because the children are no longer.
It could be used
kind of like Skype.
every other ways too.
I've heard of remote learning. I just never heard of it the term Zoom class. I just never heard that term.
We use Zoom for classes.
Yep.
It's kind of like Skype, Chief, or FaceTime.
It's just like StreamYards.
StreamYards. They're just in front of the teacher online.
Chief, they just refer to it as Zoom because predominantly that's the name of the product that they're using, but you can use StreamYards, Skype, to Lavender's point. It's just basically the notion of remote learning for the kids.
All right, hold on. Before Sasquatch, I see what you're saying, but should personal opinions really be taught in schools, or should they stick to the facts?
They should be teaching reading, writing, arithmetic, and history.
Yeah, it's
and world history.
I agree.
I
Until you
mean,
get to
and
college.
and
If
not,
you get to
not none
college,
of the watered down stuff. I mean, actual history, Black history, Mexican history. You know, I mean, that movie Hidden Figures, when that came out, I was pissed off that I didn't learn about that back in high school. That those ladies did that shit. I mean,
Yeah,
that
but you know what? A lot of that stuff at the time back then was classified, so you can't really like blame the system for keeping that close. They didn't want those. They didn't want those equations out for the general public to know. So yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was a race against the Russians and all that. Yeah, but yeah, I still got mad about it. But anyways, and yeah, parents should watch what's going on in school because, I mean, look at what they're doing today. I mean, safe spaces and all this. I mean, come on. You know, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to learn about life like that. I mean,
all right. So, Chief, what do you think
about remote learning in general?
Well, should the parents be allowed to watch the Zoom classes that their kids are taking?
Okay, now that I know what a Zoom class is, I would say, yeah, because you want to understand and calculate the messages that are going to your children. And I know that the Zoom classes that you guys call it, they probably have standards of education learning like they do in school. See, we don't have to do the remote learning because my kids are actually going to the physical school. So we haven't had to do the remote learning. But yeah, if your kids are online, you should definitely be very proactive on what they're seeing, because we all know the kind of stuff you can see online. You just hit a few buttons and then blammo, you know. So yeah, I would say yeah. Look in on that.
Fair enough. Asian, what do you think?
First and foremost, again, my opinions, but I think it's a little silly to have to try and mandate or regulate this. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, what's the big deal? What's wrong with transparency? Just leave it at that. I don't want to be too long-winded.
Okay, Sean, what do you think?
Are we talking grade school, middle school, or high school level?
I think we're talking all level.
Okay, because here's the thing that concerns me, is that as you get into more advanced science, you get into your sophomore, your junior, senior, you're learning more and more. What happens when the creationists start shouting down the teachers about evolution?
Good point.
You know, when you go from beyond just seeing what your child's learning to tell them you can't learn that because I don't agree with it. And depends on where you live. I mean, you know, obviously Kansas was going to outlaw evolution in schools.
Jeez, really? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it got pulled back some years ago, but it was on the books. You know, I'm Catholic, but we even accepted evolution a long time ago. You know, I just hate to see. To me, that's probably the one that would really be a heavy hand from parents on it based on their beliefs.
But that's with school in general before all this stuff.
I mean, math is math, and probably the parents don't understand a lot of it anyway because math changes.
Yeah.
Or how we do things. And, you know, science is always evolving to get to the evolution thing, and people want to fight about it. History, and once again, you have a slant. As a parent, remember it one way and you know it another way.
Yeah.
As Sasquatch said, the thing with the people from that movie. I never heard about, but I was a big space program nut for a long time. And I never knew that.
Yeah, I was a big space nut too. I always wanted to go to that junior astronaut program down there in, what is it, Alabama?
Yeah.
In Huntsville?
Space school.
Yeah, that was always a cool thing.
Yeah, I've actually been to that space center up there many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, I've been down to Florida. If you've ever been to KSC, that's a good tour. If you ever go down to Kennedy Space Center.
I've been to Houston and I've been to Huntsville. I've never been to the one in Florida.
Yeah, go to the one in Florida. The visitor center is awesome. They have all kinds of autographed space stuff from all the guys from the
But we never went to the moon, Chief.
Mercury 7 all the way up through the Apollo and everything, the Gemini program and everything.
But the Earth is flat. We never went to space. You know that.
Oh, my Lord. How could I forget? Yeah. Large bodies of water do not curve. What the hell is he talking about?
All right, so Sasquatch, what do you think about this?
I'm lighten it up there.
Oh, about the schools?
Yes, sir.
The Zoom classes?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any kids, but yeah, you bet your ass parents should watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And be able to jump in when the teacher's spouting bullshit.
Well, now hold on. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's let everyone go through first. Gary, what do you think?
No, I don't think parents ought to get involved. If they don't go to the schools now, why would they want to peek in and see what the heck the teacher's saying? Or the teacher's got a curriculum. They know they're going to get fired if they start spouting out bullshit.
Well, teachers should definitely get paid more.
I think it actually depends. I think that really would depend on the school.
And shouldn't the parents doing their own job at that moment?
Lavender, what do you think?
Absolutely. I believe the parents should be able to look in. They are allowed to go to class with their kids if they so desire. I spent more time at my kid's high school, my youngest, I think, than he did. If you're teaching something to my kids that isn't appropriate, or you're not teaching at all, like a lot of teachers do nowadays, I want to know so I can report it, because you're hurting my kid.
Mm-hmm.
He or she isn't learning what they need to learn to grow.
Okay, now here's this question specifically for everybody that answered that yes, parents should be able to watch, and then also comment on what is being said.
I want to take back my last statement. I was wrong in that. So parents should be able to butt in.
That's what we're going to get on right now. So all the people that said yes to that.
Sounds like a bunch of Karens.
Hold on, dude. For all the people that want to get on that. Now, what happens if your child, let's imagine your child's in on this, and whatever you believe on, let's say, evolution. Let's just stick with the evolution. If you believe in evolution or you don't, whatever you believe, the teacher was teaching the exact opposite of that. Do you believe you should be able to butt in? No, let's put it this way. If you don't believe in evolution, let's say you believe in creation, should you be able to interject and tell the teacher, no, you're wrong, evolution is not real, creation is real, you need to stop teaching that? Should you be able to butt in and say that?
No.
So for all the people that
not at all.
Maybe.
Maybe
shut the computer off. But
well, maybe I'm not understanding your question, but let me just explain why I said maybe, real quick. Because statistically speaking, it's already proven that homeschooling can provide better education for your children than formal training.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're understanding the question.
Right. So I probably misunderstood then.
No, the question was, if you're watching your kid, their class, and they're
teaching evolution,
saying that evolution is real. If you believe evolution is not real, and you believe creationism, should you be able to stop teacher and say, "Oh, hold on, motherfucking teacher, you're full of shit. Creationism real. God is real. Fuck off. Goodbye." Should you be able to do that and tell the teacher to stop doing what they're doing?
No.
All right, that's fair. That is fair. So you guys all believe that if they are doing stuff that is believed as fact, you shouldn't be able to influence them with your opinion, just like you believe they shouldn't put their opinion into your child as well, right?
Yeah, but the thing
Pretty
is,
much.
you have to consider this, okay? They're only in school for maybe 6-7 hours a day. You know, bus ride here, bus ride home, 6-7 hours of curriculum a day. You have the opportunity to educate your student or your kids, you know, any way you want. You could say, hey, we believe in evolution, or we don't. We believe in creation. You know, it's not the school that's going to program your kid to think that way. It's going to be you at home, because the kids are at home way more than they are in school. And school, they try to kind of hit a neutral kind of situation. They don't try to commit to one side or the other. That's what teachers are trained to do. But when they're at home, that's when people start educating their kids about whether you want to believe in creation or whether you want to believe in evolution. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I
grew up. Go ahead, Lavender.
No, I was just going to say, I just think that, you know, they should be able to make up their own mind, really. You know, you explain your belief. They learned that at school. Now it's up to them. They know both sides. They have the information they need to go forth and make their own decision.
Yeah, I agree with that, because once they reach their teen years, they're starting to make up their own mind of who they are and what they want and what they value. And I agree with that.
Okay, that's great for creationism. Okay, but let's move on to what if the teachers are talking about how the Holocaust was fake.
No, you call bullshit on that.
Yeah,
because that happened.
About science, about a lie that we can prove right.
Yeah, you don't teach a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what the parents are. I mean, the schools and everyone that's the teachers are worried is going to happen is the people that are going to, you know, bring their own beliefs that they're teaching their kids and disrupt the Zoom class setting.
Well, yeah, they start. If I had kids and they start spouting that the Holocaust isn't real, oh, you betcha I'd interrupt.
Oh yeah, I would too.
And then I'd shut the computer off.
I agree.
Who the hell said the Holocaust wasn't real?
There's a lot of people that believe. There's a lot of people that believe it wasn't real.
Oh, so they haven't seen the goddamn documentary footage of all that stuff in Auschwitz, Dachau, Sobibor, all of those concentration camps in Poland. They didn't see that documentary. What? They just missed that? Am I the only one who saw that?
No,
I've seen pictures and books and everything through my history classes, and it's real. I've seen documentaries.
When I was in
and
Germany,
those people that deny it, and people that deny it are fucking idiots.
Yeah, they're Holocaust deniers. I haven't done any research. I have no idea what their beliefs that it was fake or stage or whatever it is they believe. I have no idea. That'll be interesting to find out what it is. Maybe someone else. Does anyone else know what exactly they believe is fake about it?
Well, I know when I was over in Germany, I went to Bergen-Belsen prison camp. And I tell you what, the feeling that you have outside of that fence flips as soon as you cross that line of that gate. Something fucking evil happened inside of those fences. And I mean, and everybody that I was on the tour with, everybody felt the same thing. Nobody said anything, but this is after when we got out. And he says, and we started feeling better as soon as we got back out from that fence. I mean, and it's just like, yeah, something fucking evil happened in there, without a doubt.
And you can tell that.
I'm a strong believer that evil has this energy. Good and evil both have this energy about themselves. And whenever evil converges on a spot, you do feel different walking into a place. Like there are certain places where you just feel when you walk through the building, you feel good because you know something good happened there. And also, likewise, like you were talking about,
or you don't know good happened there. I mean,
yeah, you just feel good. You just feel good. The energy is different in different places. Good and evil both have its own separate energy. I'm a firm believer in that.
But I mean, you wouldn't think you'd feel it. I mean, you could step across the line and then step back. I mean, just as soon as you cross that gate line, you just know something fucking evil happened, and then you step back out and you feel fine.
You saw some fucking ghosts, dude.
Oh no, we didn't see any.
Yeah, you don't have to see them, but you know if you feel
I
them.
mean, there was some fucking shit that went on there, and that wasn't the big one. Bergen-Belsen wasn't real big. I mean,
yeah. And you got, once again, this is home education gone wrong. Because somebody's going to believe this or not believe it.
Well, there's a lot of armies that throughout history who have tried to erase their enemies. When they defeated an enemy, a lot of armies tried to erase their history. And that's kind of the case because, I mean, those people did nothing. They absolutely did nothing. They got corralled into a fucking closed space and they got gassed or shot or burned. And I'll tell you what, I don't care what kind of real estate you're looking at. If something like that happened, I can imagine, you're going to feel energy, that negative energy, like, holy crap, what the hell did we do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have like an open discussion, open topics. If anybody on panel has a topic they would like to discuss, or anybody in chat, just go ahead and tell us what you want us to talk about. While we're waiting for people in chat, does anybody on panel have a topic they would like to discuss?
I would like to discuss the birds and the bees. I don't know how babies are made.
Lavender, you want to get this one?
You're in the wrong place, partner.
Well, birds have feathers, bees don't.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Moments like this, we're having big discussions. I miss Diver a lot.
And bees are scientifically not supposed to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Diver too. Diver just always had a wealth of information, and he was just so great to have him on panel. He's sorely missed, and he will never be replaced.
Yeah,
NJ Diver, man. Yeah, NJ Diver, baby.
We all felt part of being with him.
Have we heard anything about Mrs. J?
Have not heard anything about Mrs. J.
Supposedly she's going home.
The last I heard, she was in a rehab facility and she was slated to go home. She has improved to the point where she can walk with a walker. I'm not sure about her speech, but the last text that Virgo Triad put out, she was improving very, very much.
And probably driving them nuts.
That's good.
Should probably tell them how to run the place.
Probably.
That'd be our Mrs. J. You know,
it would. Yep, it would.
Actually, I do have a topic. You know what I learned today?
What did you learn?
That back in the Korean War, there was these 3 Americans that went over to the north, and they stayed there. Like they made their home in North Korea.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure it happened. I personally haven't heard that though.
Did you know that there's not a peace treaty over there?
No.
No, there were actually defectors that defected to the north, and one of them has been living there since. I think he defected in 1952. So you do the math; he's been there for a long time.
Well, he's probably dead by now, 68 years later. Here's a quick question for everybody. Has anybody seen Noli D in a long time?
No.
I've talked to her, and I think she's going through some stuff. But she's doing okay. I'll let her know that you guys are worried about her.
Yeah, because ever since she went on Schrodinger's and basically got her butt kicked, she kind of went low after that.
I'll let her know that you guys are thinking about her, and I'll see if I can. I'll try and get her on sometime. I'm sure she'll.
Well, I want to bring up your coffee machine.
Okay.
No, we got a confession from Taco. Taco says I'm a terrorist in Russia. I will get arrested if I enter the country. Discuss.
No, we'll get to that next.
I'm bringing it up because I got to go get a cup. But
hey, I don't care what Taco does as long as he doesn't roast my ass anymore.
if you get those Keurig things, you're going to be spending 4 times the amount that you would on regular coffee.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I'm not gonna. That's
I got a 14
I don't own one.
cup coffee maker.
Yeah, I just want a single coffee maker.
It's been brewing pretty much nonstop all day and all night long.
Yeah, see, I'm just getting a single cup one because I usually only have 1 cup of coffee
I
a
only
day.
drink 1
I don't
cup
want to
at a
waste
time.
But don't you freaking like?
But I got 13 more ready when this one runs out.
God,
so what do? You just reheat it?
Black Rifle coffee.
No, I use Coffee Direct.
Black Rifle coffee.
I use Coffee Bean Direct. Black Rifle coffee is too expensive.
But it's your okay. So Julie Barnett had a question. So at Kenny and Asian, should adoptees get their original birth certificates and records, especially the baby scoop era adoptees from 1945 to 1973?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too.
What is baby scoop?
I was adopted much later, but I had mine.
What is it? What's the baby scoop era? That I don't remember learning in school.
Well, probably. Yeah, I don't remember learning it in school. Let me look it up. I'm not sure what it is. But I do believe that adoptees should be able to get their original birth certificates and records. I mean, why not? They should have the same luxuries that everyone else does.
Well, it's also a matter of your health. You might need to know of your family traits you don't know about.
All right, so the baby scoop era was a period in Anglo-Spear history starting after the end of World War II and ending in the early 70s, characterized by an increased rate of premarital pregnancies over the preceding period, along with a higher rate of newborn adoption. That's the baby scoop era. All right,
I don't get it, but
well, just means that there were a lot more pregnancies. People couldn't take care of the babies, and so they put them up for adoption.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Lavender thinks yes, they should be allowed. Gary, what do you think? Yes or no? Gary. Okay, Gary's not there. Asian, what do you think?
Yeah, I say absolutely. I'm having a hard time figuring out the counter argument.
I don't understand what the counter argument would be either. Julie, what is the counter argument to that? Because I can't even think of what it would be. Sean,
they should be able to.
I mean, maybe the pain of knowing where they're from and how it happened, but at the end of the day, you have every right to know if you want to know.
Absolutely.
I mean, that supersedes anything.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think any government should hold back on giving you that information if you want.
Well, no, they're your personal records. The government cannot hold your personal records from you.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Unless, again, Julie, with all due respect, if you have a counter, I'd love to hear about it.
Well, I'm pretty sure she probably agrees with us. But Julie, do you know if there was an argument against it? Because I don't understand the argument.
I was feeding my dog, man. I had it on mute.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't like I was trying to tone you out or anything.
Oh, I know. I figured you were doing something else.
Yeah, I fuck with my dog too. I keep telling her she's adopted.
Oh, that sucks.
So Gary, what do you
Poor
think?
dog.
What do you think, Gary? Do you believe?
I think they have the right to know.
Sasquatch?
Oh, absolutely, they have a right to know.
Sean?
If you keep that from them, then what else are you keeping from them? I mean, it should be total, especially if once you get to your adult years, everything's got to be known. They said, if nothing else, say your family has a history of strokes and you didn't know it.
So Julie says pro-life says if they open the records, abortions will go up.
I'm pro-life.
Makes no
That's bullshit.
fucking
Yeah,
sense.
that's
That
bullshit.
makes no sense.
Yeah,
They don't
pro-life.
correlate. They don't correlate. All right, so Chief, what do you think?
Chief, for fuck's sake, you got one job. Speak.
All right, Greg. Wait, while Chief is whatever he's doing. Greg, what do you think?
Hold on. Okay.
No, you're
I'm
too
back.
late.
Too late.
I'm too late. Okay, what did I miss? I was in the other room. I'm sorry.
The question is, should adoptees be able to get their original birth certificates and records?
Well, wow. I mean, okay, that would depend on the person who they're actually trying to find. I mean, if they're like a serial killer or a goddamn pedophile, I don't know if that should be the case. But if they're like normal people and they're not like criminals, I don't know. I mean, that's a hard question. That really is. It would depend on who they're searching for. If they're searching for an absolute scumbag, it would probably be better not to find them. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree, but should it be? But should it be the government?
All of those records should be released to that person, so they know what that person is or has done.
Yeah, the government should be allowed to.
It's their personal family that they're trying to find. So
Yeah,
they,
the government.
if they have a record on it, by God, the person that's looking for it should get it.
Well, yeah. When you put it like that, okay, I can understand. Yeah, you would probably want to find out.
Okay, so it boils down to, should the government be able to hold records from anybody because the government feels that you don't need to know this person?
They
I
can't
don't think
do
the
that.
government would say anything like that.
They
Then
can't
the
do
government should
anything.
come up with a
They do
program
that.
that if you're going to put your child up for adoption, you need to at least do give a blood sample, have a genetic history without the name to release to this child when they become an adult.
No, they should
Does that
have it
make
all.
any sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
I mean,
agree.
if they're trying to keep it, if the big thing is they don't want them to know their name or where they're at or whatever, then they should have to leave some
Well, then
kind
they shouldn't have had the kid in the first place.
Yes, but we can all agree that that's not how it works.
Yeah. And
Oh, well,
Greg
yeah,
doesn't-
absolutely.
Greg doesn't
So-
know about the
so
birds and bees
therefore,
either. So
they
No, it's
should be
called
able to
pull
get
out really fast. It's
records
called
they
the
want.
pull out method. You get that moment, you take it out, and then there you go. No pregnancy.
No, that's not how that works either. Well, I mean, that's how that works, but it is
It's
not.
perfect. Get a tissue.
That doesn't even work close. It's not even close.
What do you mean?
That's
I've
not
gotten no
guaranteed
girl
either.
pregnant with that. I've gotten no girls pregnant.
So
Thank
far.
God.
So far.
Yeah. Go ahead, keep it up.
that
Yeah,
you know
you'll run out of luck sooner or later.
Yep.
All right.
Or
So we have our
catch
next
something
question.
Awesome.
Our next question comes from Stallbird Josiah.
Josiah, what's up?
And first, before we get started with this, Hank, what's up?
Hey, I got something to add on the last question.
Okay.
I think they need to keep the records open to the adopted child, at least once they hit 18 or a certain age. Because my oldest sister was adopted out, and it took her 6 years to find. Once she became an adult, to find our family.
Oh wow!
And that was 6 years we didn't get to know her, that we could have.
Oh wow! Jeez, that's sad. What's up, Glenn?
Hey.
Hey, y'all doing?
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
Not bad. How are you?
Oh no, I caught the hell full.
Oh, Glenn.
Don't let me do the laying the smack it down, y'all. Lay your own tag up on me. How y'all doing?
All right, doing all right. Sorry. So our next question is from Sauber Josiah. He asked, "Did the Roman Empire fall, or did it just morph into the government we have today?" And he's cast a little fire, like boom, dropping the bomb. All right, so let's start with Lavender. What do you think?
You picked a good one to start with, because I'm gonna have to abstain from this question because I don't have enough information.
Okay.
I don't
Gary.
know a lot about the Roman Empire, so.
Okay. Gary, what do you think?
Well, you're talking hundreds of years there. Everything deteriorates. Everything will run out eventually.
True, but the question is, is the government we have today just a Roman Empire morphed? Is it like an extension of the Roman Empire, basically? Essentially, is the question.
I don't think so.
I got an extended answer for this.
Okay. Let's see. Greg, what do you think? First, then we'll get you, Sasquatch. Greg, what do you think?
I do think we kind of have somewhat similarities. Like the Senate, the Romans had the Senate and everything, but that's about it. I mean, what was it? No, the Roman Empire fell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this country, that was thousands of years ago, way before the birth of, the white man coming to America. So no.
Okay. Sasquatch.
Well, the Roman Empire did fall,
mm-hmm.
and the United States government is partly a morph from that, but it's also from the Greek Empire, and because the founding fathers took from everybody that basically had a representative government. They took from everybody, and they took the best out of all of those and put it into ours.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. Asian.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll just leave it as cause and effect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey.
I think the Roman Empire completely collapsed, but is a huge influence on not only the American political system, but most of the world's political system.
Oh, agreed. Totally agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not the influence.
No, agreed. Glenn, what do you think?
What are we talking about?
Did the Roman Empire fall, or did it just morph into the government we have today?
I want to say it kind of collapsed.
Okay. Chief, what do you think?
I think the Roman Empire fell because of internal treachery for the most part. They had a lot of factions that were fighting different battles in their inner political arena. But you know what? The Roman Empire fell because they didn't have the M4, the M245 saw. They didn't have the M62. They didn't have the Ma Deuce. And
all right.
If they had all that stuff, I bet you the Romans would still be around today, baby.
Yeah, but they did have.
No, they did it the old-fashioned way, the way I like it, up close and personal.
So
swords and spears.
You can get up close and personal with a Ma Deuce with somebody. You ain't gonna have much on the other end, but once you're done, yeah, you can do that.
Guns are too noisy. I prefer sharp knives.
Well, that's just how you unstick your bayonet.
Nah, give me a sword.
Right. So I think I agree with Asian and Sasquatch on this one. Yes, the Roman Empire did fall, and I do believe that the government we have, like Sasquatch was saying, that it's influenced from not only the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, whatever empire was out, we took a little bit from it. But that's government in general. The Romans took from the Greek. The Europeans learned from the Romans, the Germans. Everybody's learned from everyone. It's like the old saying: if you don't understand the history, you're doomed to repeat it. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that's why it's always important that we understand history, that we learn from it. We don't make the same pitfalls that the Romans did. Therefore, we won't have the same issues they have. We'll just have our own new issues for whatever comes after us to learn from.
Well, that goes back to the school. Are they teaching history in school?
They did in my school.
They did.
No, I mean today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't do that here in Louisiana no more, especially in school that I went to.
See, I guess I'm younger and I know, but they taught me everything in school.
Yeah, I'm 58.
A lot of it forgot, but.
Well, they're not teaching.
I'm 52. I'll tell you what, you have to look at the Greeks. You really have to look at the Greeks because the Spartans were probably the more formidable army, in history.
Oh yeah.
They bottlenecked that Persian. Yeah, they bottlenecked that Persian advance into such a small area that their smaller numbers actually really put up a fight. So you have to really think about it. The Marine Corps, the U.S. Marine Corps. Now, my dad was a Marine. I was not a Marine. I was a police officer. But, the U.S. Marine Corps, if you look at the Spartans' teaching and ideology, if you look at the Marine Corps, they really have something really similar as the Spartans' ideology. Win at all costs, leave no one behind, and kill, kill, kill. And that's the way the Spartans lived. And I'll tell you what, it's actually pretty amazing if you look at both documentaries side to side, the Spartans and the Marine Corps history, you see a lot of similar patterns.
Well, you know how to piss a Marine off, don't you?
Call him a Spartan off?
Call him a sailor?
No, tell him that he's in the Department of the Navy.
No, I'd rather piss off a Marine than a Spartan. Just saying.
All right, so next question.
I think I'm going to steer clear of both fights.
Yeah, right.
All right, so our next question comes from Pat Dagler, and why are there no turkeys in Turkey? You got me. I have no idea.
Who's to say that there aren't any turkeys in Turkey?
Well, because turkeys are native to this continent.
Does it have any?
They could have been imported.
Could it have any?
You never know.
Maybe there's no grease in Greece.
Go ahead, Asian.
Maybe something with climate.
There you go. That's probably what it was. It was probably just a silly question, but I thought I'd show it anyway.
No, we got to get back on topic here. Taco is a terrorist taco.
South Jersey Sasquatch has got a pretty good one.
We don't discuss tacos, terroristic plots on this channel, so let's steer clear from that. No,
oh, how about this? Is furry potato a Nostra Futu with a terrible?
I'm getting to it. I'm going down the list. I'm going down the list right now. Hold on. I'm trying to find the ones. Let's see.
Can you be hungry and hungry?
Is it just me, or is furry potato a real freak?
Wait, here's another one from Taco. We're the rebel fraction responsible for killing thousands of construction workers on the second Death Star.
Why? How did I miss that?
No, that's a good question.
Okay, now hold on. Would that be an OSHA violation?
Sure, I would say the answer is yes.
Well, you guys know why God created beer, right? You guys know why God created beer?
Why?
So
I didn't know that.
Construction workers wouldn't rule the earth.
But this is in space.
Oh, there it is.
I didn't even hear what he said. What did you say?
I said, we're the rebel fraction responsible for killing thousands of construction workers on the second Death Star.
I didn't see that.
Bring that up with their shop steward.
Yeah,
right, so
you got to go to the union for that one.
All right, so here's a question from South Jersey Sasquatch. He wants to know: is furry potato a Nosferatu with terrible spray tan?
Yes.
So Greg says yes. What do you think, Lavender?
Yes.
Gary?
Definitely.
Asian?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Is furry potato a Nosferatu with a terrible spray tan?
I plead the fifth. I don't answer questions.
I do not consent.
Chicken.
Yeah, you work
Sasquatch,
for
what do you
me.
think?
Oh yeah.
Greg.
Yo. Oh.
God damn, really?
It's very.
Yo.
Well, I've heard of that name before, and I've seen the pictures.
God, you're so
but it's
young.
but it's in black and white, so maybe.
You don't do Greg. Wow. Yeah. Hank,
Oh
what do you
no,
think?
it's in black and white.
I know, right? God.
No, I'm just saying I don't mind black and white movies. Don't get me like that. I'm just saying I don't know it. Yeah.
What's Nosferatu is? The original vampire, baby. The original vampire.
I remember when color TVs came around. It was like, oh, those are cool.
I think furry's closer to a police stack myself.
All right. Glenn, what do you think, Glenn? All right, Chief, what do you think?
I gonna plead fifth on that one.
All right, Glenn, Chief, what do you think?
I think if you put the little fangs in the front of his teeth, he'd look just the same, man. He's just about as ugly as that stupid motherfucker that did the movie to begin with.
You mean on his tooth?
Yeah, that's how you beat a vampire, man. You just hit him in the mouth. You know, what are they going to do after that?
Right.
Now, here is a good question that could pretty much be its own show on its own. Mikey the Bull asks, why are people so impressed? Mickey
the Bull.
Mickey, you're right.
Mickey.
Why are people so impressed by killing? This is such a deep question and has so many answers. Lavender, what do you think?
I'm befuddled at the moment. I didn't know people were impressed by killing. So I don't know why they would be impressed by killing.
All right, Gary, what do you think?
Just a second. Short. What was the question?
Oh my God, really? Why are people so impressed by killing?
Why are people so pissed by killing?
Impressed.
I think a lot of people are impressed. Well, if they're of that nature, are impressed because that's probably something they'd like to do to somebody else.
Greg, what do you think?
Well, you'd have to go in a time machine and go all the way back to like the first murder, first war, and ask those people, Mickey. But in real life, I don't know. But in the video game world, oh yeah, I'm impressed by kills.
Why are you impressed in the video game world?
Because it's all animation.
But why does it intrigue you? Shouldn't killing someone? I mean, do you think about killing anyone outside of the video game world?
No.
So then, why would it impress you to do it in a virtual
world?
Because there's no consequences.
Exactly. And even some games are like, they'll have like great kill or excellent or shitty kill or something like that. It
so
just depends what game you...
some sort of reward.
Yeah. But
Fair
it's
enough.
a video game, so it's like,
I got you.
You blow someone's head off and, they lose part of the arm and it's like, holy shit, that was awesome. But
Sasquatch, what do you think?
I'm going to answer this and then I'm going to bail. And
Okay.
My answer is green. And thanks for having me up here. It was fun.
All right. Asian, what do you think?
Bye, Sasquatch.
Bye, Sasquatch. I'll probably see you later. I don't know.
Yeah, Hank is absolutely right. There's no consequences. But I can't really elaborate or answer it because, to Lavender's point, killing. Like, I'm not sure. Like, why? Are
Hey, on one head, jump Daniel.
All right.
One head. I think you let me come up.
all
All
due
right.
respect, if the question was like drama about drama, maybe in general, that's different. But killing specifically, I'm not sure.
Kenny, this will make your day. Chiefs just won.
That didn't make
They were
Chief,
favored.
Chief Toto, what do you think? Why are people so impressed by killing?
Well, I got to tell you, when I was taking criminology classes in the university, I sat through a lecture one time from a criminologist, PhD, and he said we actually talked about that very thing. Why would you want to kill someone? And as police officers, we're trained to actually evaluate the situation, and if we don't have to use that level of force, we don't use it. But he said the psychological profile of the human being, all of us, we are predators. And human beings have been predators since we evolved into upright Homo sapiens. And our instinct to kill is actually just a sub-level of what our intelligence and our values are. So if you have your intelligence and your values up here, but you still have that sub-level of, I am a predator and I will defend myself, or I will aggressively eliminate anything that I see to be a threat. So you really have to really look at the psychological part about it, because you know what? There are people out there who just, when they get that first hit and they put someone in the ground, they get this adrenaline rush that motivates their brain for quite some time. We've seen a lot of cases of serial killers that went on for years and years because they just had that rush every time they killed someone. So, I mean, as a law enforcement officer, I can say I've seen some pretty hardcore dudes, and I've seen some pretty hardcore psychosis, in those dudes. I mean, they really thought they were doing no wrong. So, yeah, that's a real big subject to cover.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. To me, I think you're right, Hank. Oh, Hank. Oh, he's still here. Hank, I think you're right. And it's a lot. It has to do with there's no consequences. Think about it this way. The only time I can think of anybody that's actually being impressed by killing are instances where either video games or, let's say, when you have your motorcycle clubs, when they go out, or your factions, your places that say we need this person killed, and these people usually get they get a little pass that says, "Oh, you're one of our true members now because you killed someone for the club, or you killed somebody for the cause, so there's some sort of reward." Or when governments go out and assassinate another member of the government, do the people get that killed that other person in government, which is assassination? It's political assassination, but nobody gets punished for it. In fact, they write books, they go on speaking tours, they do all this stuff. And those are the only instances I can see that people are impressed by killing.
But that's been going on since the late 17th, 18th century. I mean, look at the UK. Look at the UK. They used to hang people just for pickpocketing. So, I mean, it's like, is that because they're trying to punish their crime, or is that because they kind of, they have a bunch of people show up and, it's like noon and they're going to hang this dude and everybody has a great time of it? Is it a bloodthirst thing, or is it punishing a crime? That's what you got to realize. Is it a bloodthirsty thing, or is it a crime?
That's a great point, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about is people's fascination with loving it when someone kills someone else. When they're impressed by, oh, look, you killed that person. That's impressive. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. You're talking about like a rock groupie, only it's a murder groupie.
Pretty much.
There are people who, and we've seen this time and time again. There's a lot of people on death row. These women come and start relationships with them and marry them while they're on death row. I don't know what the psychosis there is, but I mean, there are people who are attracted to that kind of violence.
Yeah, Richard Ramirez got married on death row.
Well, Scott Peterson out in Folsom, he got married on death row, and they goddamn commuted his fucking sentence to life in prison. So he doesn't even get executed now. That just pisses me off. You remember the Scott Peterson case?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That son of a bitch should be drug out back and shot in the head. And I would volunteer to do
it. Can I give my answer?
Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah,
Poor Hank.
Most people that I forgot how the question was phrased, but most people who admire or whatever killing
impressed by killing.
What?
Impressed by killing.
Yes, because most people haven't had to kill and haven't had to live with the consequences.
Oh, very good point. Very good point.
Whether it's justified or not, there's always consequences.
And the only time people are impressed when there are no consequences.
Live with me for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
This is why you keep it in the virtual world where there is no consequences.
But it's not always that way. I mean, when you're with a group that needs someone killed, and they say, "We'll give you this for killing this person," whether they want to admit it or not. Can you please
Sorry.
Lavender, stop barking. God.
So yeah, so there's certain groups that are going to. It's not something that's going to go away. I think it sounded kind of weird when you put thought into the question. It's a great question, and it has certain answers. I mean, it's something that's not going to go away. People are going to be impressed by killing, because if they weren't, we wouldn't have these video games where people keep getting killed.
I'm just not sure.
Fantasy.
I'm sorry. I'm just not sure the word "impressed" is the right word to use in the question.
I know I see what you're saying, but at the same time, though, it fits though, because come on, in this world, we're impressed. Who wasn't happy when they shot Bin Laden? Who wasn't impressed? Oh shit, they got him, right? Who wasn't?
Oh, I celebrated with joy.
They killed someone, and you were impressed that they killed somebody. So I think it's not like a practical question, but it fits.
Okay.
Oh, we celebrated. Like, we got a poster of him. Yeah, we laid it down. We did like what they did to our flags. We spit on it. We pissed on him, on his face, and then we burnt it and had a cake.
Before you ever celebrate somebody killing anyone else, you got to think about the person who had to pull that trigger, what they have to live with, no matter how justified of a shoot. Would I pull the trigger against Bin Laden? Sure. But would I have to live with the demons? Yes, I would.
And I think for certain people that would be an issue, but I don't think that the person that did that, in fact, the dude supposedly went to write a book. He's going on speaking engagements. I don't think he's living with very many demons at all. Certain people, I'm sure, would, but there's certain people that just live for that type of shit.
That's why we have 460,000 soldiers that are dealing with PTSD at this point.
Well, I agree.
We have 22 soldiers who end their own lives on a daily basis.
I think that most people would have an issue with it, but there are certain few that, they just don't have an issue with it at all.
Yeah, but that's also a VA problem. The VA has let down these service members for a long time. I'll tell you what, I volunteered for the USO for 4 years, and I know I've seen service members coming and going, and I've seen all kinds of ranks. But like when my uncle got home from Vietnam, they screwed their asses over. All of his buddies and him got screwed over by the fucking government. And I'll tell you what, it took 30 fucking years for him to get an advocate to fight for his point of view, because he had PTSD. My uncle was in the infantry, 1st Infantry Army, and he was actually attached to the 21st Infantry in Cu Chi, Vietnam. He had 1 silver star, 2 bronze stars, and 5 purple hearts. and they wouldn't do shit for him. And then when he finally got this advocate to fight for his rights, he finally got the benefits that he had coming to him. But it was like 1997 by the time he got him.
Yep. And I'm fighting the same things with the VA. They're dealing with PTSD, sucks out the ass. But if there wasn't the demons to live with, there would be no need to treat PTSD. I do not regret pulling the trigger on any of the mothers I had to kill. Because it was their life or the lives of my brothers and sisters to my left and right.
I think that's
but you still have the demons that you've got to live with. Unless you're psychotic and don't feel, you don't have the empathy. That's the only case I can see somebody not having an issue with pulling the trigger.
No, I agree. And I'm sure most people would have an issue with pulling that trigger, which I think is a human thing. You know, it's, you don't want to end somebody's life or you have issues with it. So that's a good thing.
People celebrating killing pisses me off.
No, yeah. Okay, I got you. I definitely got you. All right, so let's see what else we got here for other questions. All right, so here's another one. Could unsolved serial killings, Jack the Ripper, Zodiac Killer, among others, actually be the same person or group time traveling and killing as they go? It's a possibility, but I highly doubt it.
Okay, I'm not the only one laughing. Okay, good. I'm not a sick. Well, I am sick, but still.
I highly doubt it, but it's a small possibility. What do you think, Lav?
I vote purple.
Vote purple?
Yeah.
What?
Because this question is ridiculous.
Okay. Gary?
I saw this episode on Star Trek.
Okay. Hank?
Well, even if you had the possibility of time travel, you have two separate complete modes of killing and what they did to the bodies afterwards. So, no.
No, there is a possibility.
Taco.
You get a DeLorean and you go 88 miles an hour, and there you go.
All right, here we go. So Taco wants to know what rebel faction responsible for killing thousands of construction workers on the second Death Star? Yes,
We
they
already
were.
covered this.
We already covered that. It turned into a union dispute.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Union leaders and everybody's dead. Darth Vader is, well, no longer Darth Vader. The Emperor fell through a well when
if
we all
Darth
thought
Vader
he
was working
dead.
on there, he was a scab.
All right, so who wins in a fight, Lynn Serial or Josh Abrams pre-prison?
Oh, yo, I could just imagine them like fighting like a cat fight.
Here's the thing. I would love for Glenn to win just because I really dislike Josh and would shut him up. But I think Josh would take him.
Yeah.
Then he'll sweep the legs.
Yeah, the legs. What do you
Hey,
think?
can I come in with a taser?
I think they'll just end up rolling on the ground, hugging each other.
It'll be like Brian's fight at the post.
That's right.
Yeah, Gary, what do you think?
Well, I don't know which one would win, but I would pay all the money in the world just to see it.
All right.
Asian, what do you think?
Especially if you have a match with machetes.
I'm thinking about the end of Rocky 2 with Apollo and Sylvester Stallone when they do that fight.
Yeah.
And they wind up punching each other at the same time.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to say my grandmother would kick both their asses because she was a tough son of a bitch.
I honestly don't think there will be a fight. I think they both will be standing there with the camera telling the other one to take the first move. You wouldn't do no good. Swing first, you're good. Hey, I'll defend myself if you do anything. Go ahead and take the first move. I dare you. I'll defend myself. Send us under arrest. You know, that sort of shit. No, I don't think it would go very far at all.
Did anybody pay attention to that latest Glenn video with where he is assaulted by the cop?
Oh
yes.
yeah.
No.
Well, the guy in the truck, there is no mistaking when he hit Glenn Stinch. He reeled back.
Yep, he did. It was hilarious.
I saw
And
that
no,
too.
seriously, he got out of the truck and all he's like, "Oh man!"
It looked like he was about to hurl.
It did. It was hilarious.
I'd have to
All right.
find that one.
I covered it. God, you don't watch my videos, do you?
I watch a lot of videos. To be honest with you.
I think somebody needs to do an edit and slow-mo that part and slow-mo the part where the lieutenant is pushing him back and causing the, you can't see my air quotes, but internal injuries.
Yeah.
All right, so another taco question. Will Glenn be in jail in 2021? And if so, what charge? Be creative.
False report, hopefully.
Lavender?
Can it?
I'm thinking it's going to be a sexual offense.
Oh. Maybe like child porn or something like that?
Hand file charges?
Something along those lines.
Can his hands file charges for rape?
That'll be a good one. Gary, what do you think?
I didn't hear the question.
It's right there on the screen.
Right there on the screen.
Oh, you can see it. Will Glenn be in jail in 2021? And if so, what charge?
Resisting arrest.
Asian.
I guess he'll be in jail in 2021 for some kind of hate crime.
Nice.
Yeah, because everybody hates him.
No, because isn't he a racist?
He's a complete and utter racist.
Yes.
We'll see.
Unrepentant.
So let's see how far he takes racism this year.
Greg, what do you think?
Well, nobody's been creative yet. So, does it
I
have to
thought
be
child porn was pretty creative.
Does it have to be legit charges?
Well, in order to be arrested, probably.
I thought his hands filing rape charges on him was pretty creative.
That is.
I think he's gonna get arrested for mouthing off to the wrong person. He's gonna get into a fight. He's gonna cry. He's gonna call the cops. Somehow he'll twist it. He'll get arrested. He'll get tased lots of times and maced many times in the eyes, all on video. Yeah.
And the sad thing is, if he goes on the lam, all he's got to do is use soap and water. Nobody'd ever recognize him.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I think, yes, he will be arrested. I think he will be arrested. What's going to happen is he's going to get so fed up with our country, he's going to decide to not become a citizen. He's going to say, "You're not my country, I'm leaving." And he's going to move to Canada, but he's going to try and denounce his citizenship before he finds a new country, and then he realizes no other country wants him, so he can't go anywhere. So he's going to be arrested for being an illegal alien here because he was stupid and didn't find a new country to live in. That's my guess.
Damn. I like that.
I mean, I can see that happening to Glenn. I really could, easily.
He's so bad that North Korea wouldn't take him.
And he's so stupid, he'd make some rash decision and say, "I renounce my citizenship," before he found a new home, and he'd just be fucked.
Didn't he do that?
No, he's threatened to do it.
Yeah, he threatened. Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Didn't he threaten? Oh, I'm gonna give up my United States citizenship because I'm a complete and total
Work was
douche nozzle.
But I think 2021 is going to be the year he pulls the trigger, and he's going to pull it prematurely, probably like he pulls a lot of things prematurely,
including his own pud.
Yeah, and it's going to cause him some issues.
Oh boy.
All right, so Taco's another one. Who will win Fraud of the Year 2021? It is way too early to decide because there might be some auditors we don't even know yet that show up and just blow Glenn out of the water. I know it could be a tough call, but it could happen.
Glenn's running from the gates, but
he is
a long time to go.
Yeah, I think that was a little premature to ask, but maybe in 6 months. Maybe in 6 months we'll have a better look. But right now, it's just getting started. But as of right now, Glenn is doing good. Furry's off to a start. I think Silent Boy's off to a start, and that's it. Oh, and so is another Blunt Please. Oh, and he's always going to be there. There's no, he's always doing stupid shit.
That's why I watch it, for the train wreck.
All right, what other questions we got? What's up, Jimmy?
Here, I got a question. Oh,
go ahead. Yeah.
How many frauditors are going to end up getting jailed for pulling the same shit they're doing today as soon as the COVID's over?
They're still doing the same shit with COVID going on.
Yeah, but as soon as COVID's over and they open the jails back up, I think a lot of them are going to get arrested that they were getting passes for.
Yeah, that's
thank
true.
God.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, I think once the jails open up, everything else will be opened up. So they won't. I don't think they'll be pushing the envelope nearly as much as they are now because their normal places are closed. So I don't know. I think things will go back to normal. I don't think there'll be too many more.
Elmo or any of them going back to normal.
And
what is normal for them?
Here's the thing about Anselmo. Anselmo is scared to get arrested. He will back down before he gets arrested. So Anselmo,
we've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen that on multiple occasions. Did he? I didn't. I don't know if he did.
I thought there was a video of him getting arrested last week.
Probably is. So, welcome back.
Wait, he didn't get it. Was his other stupid person that brought his kid with him into that veteran place. It was like a veteran office or some shit. No, it was a tax place for veterans or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I saw that one.
Can they pull their crap since the DC situation? Things are definitely going to be different for them. You know, they're not going up to military bases and or up to the military that's guarding any of the state capitals because they're not stupid.
They should go audit Area 51. That's government.
Somebody did.
Thing.
There's already been a few people that have attempted that.
Yes. Some of them have just disappeared.
What's his face did it? Breaking the Law.
How about Fort Knox?
I don't know if anyone's. I think they've done Fort Knox too. They've also done nuclear power plants. They've done a bunch of places.
I want
the White House.
I think so.
Are you serious?
To all the frauditors out there, if you go to any military base, look at the maps. They keep their best secrets in this place called the Impact Zone. So go out.
Yeah, so the fraud. Oh my God.
All right, so here's another question. What's most likely to exist? Ghost, Loch Ness Monster, werewolves, or an honest auditor? I'm going to go with Ghost. What do you think, Greg? Gary?
Oh.
Actually, I kind of believe the Loch Ness Monster.
Asian, what do you think?
I'll go with ghosts.
Greg, what do you think? Greg. Okay, we'll come back to Greg.
Ghosts, because I've had quite a few paranormal
from most likely to least likely.
experiments.
All right, one at a time. All right, so Greg, you said ghosts. Hank, what did you say?
I said I think they got this, got it in the right order from most likely to least likely.
There you go.
Right? Good one. Hank, Lavender, what do you think?
All of them except the last one.
All right, so I think are there any last minute questions before we wrap this up from the audience, from our viewers? Those are all great questions, by the way. Thank you for everyone participating. While we're waiting, what do you guys think about this this kind of setup? You like this? It's kind of cool, or should we try something different next week? Or
no, that's fine.
I like it.
This is cool.
I miss a video though.
We can put a video in next week.
Maybe do a video at first and then go to the questions.
Oh, I did. We did a demo video first.
Videos always cause my phone to heat up and I get booted off.
Well, we did a video when we first started. So
yeah.
I was still on Glen panel when you first started, so I missed it.
Oh, okay.
I still think you need to play that the trifecta video where you have the flat Earth auditor solves.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. I still haven't checked it out yet, but I will. And I might do a video on it, or I might just do a live stream. We'll see. So Mickey the Bull says it's fun. Cool. So we'll do this again next week. And like I said, I'm gonna try and add more live streams in throughout the week, just to help you. I enjoy doing these with you guys. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, Kenny.
All right, so I guess no more questions. All right, that's fine. I want to give everyone give some last minute to say. Gary, you got anything last minute to say, sir?
Go Chiefs.
Asian, what do you think?
Only because Diver's name was mentioned. Rest in peace, Diver. Reality bites.
Hey.
Well, thanks for having me up. Always a pleasure to be here.
Lav?
Thanks for having me up. Sorry, choked up a little bit. I just found out that one of my very, 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 very close friends had a heart attack about 30 minutes ago. They were able to bring him back though.
That's good.
But they're still trying to stabilize him and everything. So I'm waiting to hear if I can even go up there.
Did they catch early, do you know?
No, I don't know.
Sorry to hear the bad news, Lavender.
Yeah, it's quite a shock because he's not that old. But he is a really big dude. He's like 6'5". Got some girth on him. But anyways, thank you, everyone, for having me. Thanks to everybody on the panel. Thanks for all the great discussion. I love you all. Be safe.
I just want to thank everyone. Thank everyone on panel. Gary, Asian, Hank, Lavender, Glenn, Greg, Chief. Who else is on here? I think that's it. All right. Thank you, Hornet, Pat, Cat, Sasquatch. I'm sorry, the award-winning Cat Nat, South Jersey Sasquatch, Mickey the Bull, Jessica S., Keith, Josiah, Hornet, the award-winning Taco, and Julie, anyone on Power Wagon, anyone I missed, doesn't mean you're not appreciated. Thank you all. Thanks for the super chat, Kat, and hope everyone has a fantastic day. And I will see you again with another video tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace.
See ya.
I can't believe you two took that raving lunatic seriously. What do you think this is?